not only is there Jekyll and Hyde, kind of a roller coaster about it, but imagine being the translators in North Korea. Everyone can see all of this, say nothing of domestic consumption.
You know, it's interesting. When you have a lot of authority and responsibility, you have to act differently than you do when you're in your kitchen or your bedroom. I'll tell you an anecdote very, very quickly. Right after I was decorated, the first dinner I attended, one of the people there was Jimmy Doolittle. He took me aside after the dinner, brought me into a corner. I was a young captain. He put his arm around me and said, "Young man, you're no longer Jack Jacobs. You're Jack Jacobs Medal of Honor recipient, and you better comport yourself accordingly. Do you understand what I'm saying?" Nobody's said anything like that to Donald Trump yet.
Wow. Well, there's a story only a few people can tell. Maybe one person can tell. Medal of Honor recipient Jack Jacobs. Hey, Sam, the generals around this president have garnered a lot of discussion. I saw a piece on them last night. People have said that anyone with concerns about the president should be very happy in the quality of these men. They are also a reflection of the general superior quality of our general officers in this time of life. Because of the wars we've been fighting, we have so many with kind of fresh off-the-field combat experience and good judgment.
Well, first of all, how am I supposed to top that story from Jack Jacobs?
I got nothing on Jimmy Doolittle. I got nothing. Just kind of plow ahead, you know.
Nor do I.
Yeah.
I mean, what am I doing here? I shouldn't even be here. As for the generals, it is both an obvious development within the White House that they are taking on an increasingly large portfolio. We're not just talking about foreign policy here anymore. We're talking about domestic policy as well. There are concerns about that. People are legitimately concerned about having an overextended military presence within this administration. They feel like civilian presence should be more in more prominence, I would say. But the alternative is always what gets these people on board, which is that you had a dysfunctional White House that was prone to leaking and infighting, that was rudderless and was getting very little done on the Hill. And you have a president whose impulses are his own worst enemy. If generals who have disciplined, who've been in the theater of war, who've served and who've had young men underneath them that they've had to discipline, can't get this ship in line, then who can? And that's the question that's basically bandied about Washington all the time now.
Jack, I got 15 seconds. What did Richard Nixon say when he placed the medal around your neck?
He said, "Are you nervous, son?" And I said, "No, sir." He said, "Well, I am."
Wow. See, that's Jack for you, Sam. Every conversation with him is like this. We could do an hour.
Why am I even here? Why am I here?
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.